beverage. I absolutely adore it. Kombucha is also a cultured fermented drink which has been around for thousands of years, and it is extremely beneficial to health and healing. Now this is a mature kombucha that I've had going for quite a while, and what you need to make kombucha is you need a SCOBY. This rather scary pancake is called a SCOBY because it stands for Symbiotic Colony of Yeast and Bacteria. This makes a pancake-like formation, and this is what allows the drink to ferment and infuses it with very healthy bacteria. You can read more about this on my blog as well. When this has been maturing for about 8 days, it will naturally make another one. It will make a baby. And this is what you can give away to a friend or a colleague, or you can put it on the compost heap. The new SCOBY will grow on top. So now I'm going to separate these, and you'll see that we've got 2 here. These rather interesting looking pancakes. By the way, I've washed my hands really well. It's important to do that because you don't want to introduce new bacteria which are not beneficial into this whole process over here. Now I'm going to strain this into a jug because there will be strands of yeast and maybe some little globs which are new baby kombuchas which are growing, which although they're not bad for you, they're just not that fun to drink. So this is what I call harvesting the kombucha. And what I'm going to be sure to do is to leave a little bit of the old one, along with the yeast and bacteria and everything that's in there, in the jar. This is your starter culture for your next batch, and will make your next batch happen a lot quicker. If you give away one of your SCOBYs, be sure to include a little bit of this liquid along with that. So I'm going to put the new one that cultured in back into the jar. And what we're going to do now is begin with the ingredients. You're going to need, for every 12 cups of water, you're going to need 8 or more, depending on the strength of the tea bags, 8 to 10 tea bags. And see as well some notes about what kinds of teas to use. Oolong tea, black tea, Earl Grey tea, all of those are fine. You just don't want to use teas with oils in them because those will really interfere with the fermentation process. Your SCOBY won't like it at all. I've got a cup of organic sugar here. White sugar works really well. Brown sugar with the molasses in it doesn't digest very well for the SCOBY because it actually eats the sugars. And here we have hot water. And we'll be topping that up to 12 cups. Stir it to dissolve the sugar. And the sugar is what the culture is going to feed on while it's fermenting. And when you enjoy this drink after about 8 or 10 days, it has very little sugar left. The longer that you leave it, the more it's going to eat up the sugar, and it'll make it more acidic and tangy. So if you like it sweeter, you can enjoy it after a week, depending on your taste. So allow that to cool down on the counter until it is body temperature. It's really important not to introduce the hot liquid to the SCOBY because it will kill it. Okay, so now we've let our tea cool down to body temperature. Really important to let it cool down properly. And you've got your SCOBY in here. You could really use the bottom, the new or the old SCOBY. The new one is going to grow on top, and then the old one will be underneath. People have asked me, how long can you keep reusing a SCOBY? It will depend. Sometimes it's a couple of months, and then for some reason they might become contaminated. If you're not going to be giving them away, you could use the new one for yourself, or every now and then switch them out and use the old one on the compost heap. So now you've got your cool down tea. So now we allow the tea to cool down and poured it into the jar with the SCOBY, which is going to now create a new batch of kombucha. Wonderful drink. Cover it with a cloth. A nice thin muslin cheese type cloth works really well because this needs to breathe. And store it in a dark place that has good airflow. So you don't want to put it inside a cupboard that's very tightly closed because it needs airflow. It needs the bacteria from the air to allow it to grow. So perhaps your pantry, a corner of your pantry is a good place. Temperature around 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So about a week to, I leave mine about 10, perhaps 12 days, and I have a fresh batch of kombucha. This is the kombucha that we harvested earlier, and this you can bottle now, keep it in the fridge for up to a couple of months.